Well, the NFL insider most connected to the Eagles just leaked Howie Roseman's trade deadline plans. A.J. Brown broke an NFL record, but only cares about the Cowboys. Jalen Hurts' injury, we finally got some confirmation. And Kenny Gainwell, he DM'd fans following his fumble at halftime. I'm Thomas Mott, this is the Thomas Mott Show. Yesterday's Eagles win was full of crazy headlines, but the crazy storylines actually started pre-game. We got an update on Cam Jurgens' injury and Jalen Hurts' knee, but first, let's just appreciate Eagle fans traveling. That was another home game, albeit on the road, at FedEx Field yesterday. Now, all week long, we wondered how healthy is Jalen Hurts? How bad is the knee situation? During warmups, he looked fine, but then Fox insider Jay Glazer gave us a little hint shortly before kickoff saying Jalen has, quote, a knee bruise, sort of like a bone bruise. He has been dealing with it for 4 weeks, and his hit last week re-aggravated it. He says he can play through it and will be fine, end quote. So I guess it's not nothing, but it's also something. The limping we saw during the Dolphins game was because he re-aggravated it. It's good to finally get some clarity here, but I guess this is a lingering thing. Let's hope the bye week in 2 weeks can help clear it up. And when asked about it post-game, Jalen Hurts, of course, gave us absolutely no insight.
How's your knee?
I'm here. I'm really happy how we persevered and, how resilient we were today. I'm happy we won.
I know, surprise, surprise, classic Jalen. A better surprise, though, was the pregame injury update on Cam Jurgens by Zach Berman from The Athletic, who said, quote, by the way, Cam Jurgens is traveling, walking around without issue. Howie Roseman just greeted Jurgens on Jurgens' way back into the locker room. He is eligible to come off of IR this week. Sounds like he probably will be ready to play on Sunday afternoon against the Dallas Cowboys. Thumbs up for that. Add in another surprise that happened pregame, and that was The Athletic's Dianna Russini, who basically broke the Kevin Byard news. She tweeted this, quote, the Eagles want to make another move even after adding safety and 5-time Titans captain Kevin Byard. I expect Howie Roseman to be busy Monday morning. More on that a little bit later. Also, thumbs up for the big surprise a couple days ago, and that was the trade for Kevin Byard. He looked crazy warming up. It's nuts seeing an elite safety wearing 31 in Eagles colors warming up before an Eagle game. The Eagles defense got started with a nice stop on the Commanders' opening drive. Also, shout out Eli Ricks, who played a lot today in the slot. Continues to be a real nice piece for the Eagles secondary. Hurts would then miss Dallas Goedert on the team's first third down and force a very quick punt. Brian Robinson would then hit on a huge run to kickstart the Commanders' second drive, and then James Bradberry, boy, he got torched right there by Terry McLaurin for 6, and just like that, the Commanders apparently weren't going to just roll over. Side note, this was kind of a rough day for Reed Blakenship and James Bradberry. They got torched time and time again, especially in one-on-one situations. A real bad day for the secondary duo. Now, Hurts would come back out and work the ball down the field into Washington Commander territory, but a 3rd down and 10 screen to Swift would fail, and Jake Elliott would get the Eagles on the board with a 51-yard field goal. Sam Howell would come back out and walk right down the field, including this absolute dart to Logan Thomas with Kevin Byard draped all over him. Honestly, Byard wasn't that great either, although it was his debut, and so I like to make the excuse that he was a Titan 3 seconds ago and still is going to take some time to build some chemistry in the Eagles secondary. Byard, however, was having none of that talk. He said post-game, quote, just because I came here on Tuesday doesn't make me exempt from not going out there and putting out a good product. Now, Howell would continue to go ahead and carve up the Eagles defense, finding Jahan Dotson for a touchdown after he torched Sidney Brown. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, it was 14-3, and very clearly we were playing the same Commanders team that absolutely balls against us, but then loses to the Bears? Now, with quite the deficit, Hurts did what Hurts has been doing all year long, and that is work right down the field to A.J. Brown. How about this throw on 3rd down and 4? Absolute money. Followed by this scramble drill, and again, finding A.J. Brown for a 1st down 2 plays later. And for those keeping track, A.J. was slowly marching to 125 yards to try to break Calvin Johnson's record, which he tied last week, of 6 straight games now with 125-plus yards receiving. Safe to say, he was basically going to do it. Now, inside the red zone, on 1st down and goal, would you believe me if they gave the ball to Kenny Gainwell on a goal line carry? Oh wait, that's not a surprise? You saw that coming too? Oh, and he also fumbled on that play as well. Oh my gosh, can we please stop giving Kenny Gainwell red zone touches? Like, just give it to DeAndre Swift, or maybe you actually try Rashad Penny, who keeps riding the bench for some reason? I can't stand Gainwell anymore, but apparently Nick Sirianni, he has his full confidence in him after the game, saying, quote, we'll never lose faith in Kenny. He had a fumble. Do we take Jalen out after an interception? No. When AJ fumbled 3 games in a row last year, did we lose faith in him? No, that'd be stupid. So I guess you're going to see a lot more of Kenny Gainwell. Well, I tried. Well, I am very curious if the Instagram screenshot you're seeing right here of a fan DMing Kenny Gainwell, calling him a bum at halftime, and then Gainwell responding during halftime, is this real? If he's checking his Instagram DMs after that fumble at halftime, we have some serious problems. They didn't mention it in the postgame. I hope for something later today What do you guys think of Kenny Gainwell DMing people at halftime? Following the fumble, Sam Howell did what Sam Howell does and marched right down the field, although give credit to James Bradberry, not great the entire day, very good here on 4th down and 3. That stopped the bleeding for the defense. Smitty then broke open on back-to-back possessions to get Philadelphia into the Commander red zone. And then how about the play of the day? Hurts, back shoulder fade to A.J. Brown, one-handed catch. What is going on here? That was a thing of absolute beauty. Heck, even old Merle Reese couldn't believe what he was seeing up there in the radio booth.
Goes into the end zone, and it is caught! It is caught! Touchdown, A.J. Brown! I don't know how he pulled it in.
Julio Jones postgame, he couldn't believe what he saw A.J. Brown do right there.
I mean, the guy's an absolute beast. Just the way he plays the game, the way he cares, day in and day out. Just amazing athlete, amazing talent. We're going to be great for a while.
This guy is insane. He is having the best year of any receiver in the entire NFL, and honestly, the best year of any Eagles receiver I have ever seen. Can we get 1,500 likes on this video for A.J. Brown? Do you guys appreciate A.J. Brown as much as I do? That catch blew my mind. Thumbs up for what Brown did yesterday. Now, sadly, the defense killed the momentum. Commanders marched right into field goal range, nailed a 61-yard field goal to end the half, and the Birds were down 7-10. Now, remember that tweet earlier from Dianna Russini saying Howie Roseman was going to be active Monday morning before the trade deadline? Well, she mentioned that it was going to be for a linebacker, and right around halftime, we had a little bit of extra news pop up, and that was the Minnesota Vikings losing Kirk Cousins on this play here with what appears to be a ruptured Achilles ending his year in Minnesota. Now, the Vikings seemingly dead in the water. There are reports saying that Howie Roseman could be looking to call Minnesota for one Jordan Hicks to get the linebacker Dianna Russini talked about in the earlier tweet. Now, you remember Hicks from being a third-round draft pick of Philadelphia, who left in 2018, couldn't really stay healthy, spent time in Arizona, but since getting to Minnesota, he's never missed a game, and he has been lights out this year. There are other options. Denver has some linebackers, some other lesser-known players, but here's to Howie Roseman looking for a linebacker. There could be a big-time sale happening with Minnesota's injury. I'm going to be on the lookout for Jordan Hicks today. Now, the second the Eagles do make a trade, if they do make a trade today, I will be live on this channel, so hit the notification bell. That way you get the notification on your YouTube app to get the latest and greatest breaking news for Philadelphia. Now, coming back after halftime, Jalen Hurts did what Hurts has done almost every drive after halftime, and that is drive right into Washington territory, and then the best wide receiver in the game drew this penalty on 4th down to set up a super easy brotherly shove. Except Jalen then did what he never does, and that is fumble the brotherly shove, and the Eagles left points on the board in the red zone yet again. Thankfully, in classic Sean Desai fashion, he also is very good after halftime, and in the third quarter, the Eagles defense stiffened and forced a very quick punt. Now, Philly would then go for it on 4th down and 4 and convert to Smitty, who might have dropped it here, but Riverboat Ron was sleeping on the job and didn't throw a challenge flag, and so first down Philadelphia. Hurts would then find, who else? A.J. Brown for another insane catch in double coverage, his second touchdown of the game. This one put him over $125, breaking Megatron's record. Now, despite the record and the touchdowns and the crazy start to A.J. Brown's season, post-game, he was only thinking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Not at all, not yet, because I'm still working. I think it'll be a time where I sit down and I'll be like, go AJ, but it's not it right now. We got a big matchup, got Dallas. From what I hear, they had a good game, and we got to clean up some stuff, and we got to go to work. It's going to be a war. So
now, at that time, I was only thinking about Sam Howell getting stopped, but he walked right back out following the A.J. Brown touchdown and marched right down the field for another score, this time to Logan Thomas. Now, Jalen Hurts would answer on the following drive, finding, how about Smitty, wide open here, 10 yards plus separation, and the Eagles' skinny Batman and swole Batman both had touchdowns on the day. On the next drive, Howell, he must have not have seen the ghost because Reed Blakenship jumped in front of this pass for a massive interception, setting up the Eagles back in the red zone. Side note, for as bad as Blakenship was on Sunday, and he admitted it post-game, I love his mentality summed up here by Dave Zangaro saying, quote, Reed Blakenship said his INT meant so much to him because he wasn't happy with how he played up to this point. Blakenship Kevin Byard told him to shake off the struggles and keep his head up. Now, you don't have to be perfect. Blakenship wasn't, but he made the big play when it counted. I'm still behind the ghost. I think you guys would agree. Hurts would come right back and throw his 4th touchdown pass of the day, this time to Julio Jones. Yeah, I was just as excited as you were when I saw that Julio Jones got that touchdown pass. Hurts even mentioned post-game how insane it was throwing an actual touchdown pass to the legend that is Julio Jones.
it's cool to see, cool to do. Cool to see him making a play for you. All my years, I wouldn't say that I'd be throwing touchdown passes to Julio Jones, but here it is.
Now, with the lead and 5 minutes to go, the Eagles defense was going to get stops, right? Well, They did, but it was more because Terry McLaurin dropped 2 really easy passes here. I appreciate it, Scary Terry. Reddick would then later clean things up, as only Reddick can do on a 4th down strip sack, and Philadelphia was back in Commander red zone territory, ready to run a tush push on 3rd down and 2, but instead of the brotherly shove, how about the brotherly sweep here? I love this play so darn much. Thumbs up for this. Swift bounding it outside. The Washington Commanders have no idea what hit them. Touchdown Philadelphia. The game was officially over. But the Eagles would go ahead and steal the victory, heading to 7-1 and setting up a monumental matchup with the Cowboys in Philadelphia next Sunday afternoon. I think the biggest takeaway was Philadelphia's offense. I mean, it's been great the past 2 weeks. Credit to Brian Johnson, credit to Jalen Hurts, who had probably his best game, even better than the Dolphins game this past week. And how about A.J. Brown? He is the best receiver and honestly needs to be in the MVP conversation. Now, we have to stop turnovers because we would have scored probably 50 points if you stopped fumbling it in the red zone, but at least no Jalen interceptions. Defensively, though, Sean Asai needs to look at this film and figure out how to make sure the secondary can hold on when Dak and CeeDee Lamb come to town next week. Now, the 49ers and Chiefs both lost, so Philadelphia now has the best record in the NFL, and as we mentioned, the tough stretch is coming up, but the fact that they keep winning these games that they're supposed to sets them up for a really, really good chance to go far in the postseason. Now, I'll be on alert all day today and into tomorrow because I think Philadelphia is going to make another trade. If you believe Dianna Russini, they probably will. Make sure you sub and hit the notification bell because we're going to give you the fastest update on the Eagles trade situation on the entire YouTube platform. That's my guarantee to you if you guys hit that sub button. If Howie makes a move, you'll know it here first. We'll make sure to give you guys full coverage of that. And we have plenty more stuff happening that's not even related to the trade deadline the next couple of days and weeks, including Dallas Hate Week. Give me your best I hate Dallas down below in the comments section. I cannot wait for that matchup. I'm happy with it despite there being problems with turnovers in the defense yesterday. I'm just glad the Eagles won, and I'm hoping that Jalen Hurts stays healthy and can torch the Cowboys next Sunday afternoon. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been The Thomas Mott Show.